Hey guys, today we are making my Baja Fish Tacos. It is finally feeling like summer here and it is getting me so excited for our annual family beach trip. There's this little taco place in the town that serves the best Baja Fish Tacos. Beer battered fish served with a tangy slaw and creamy Old Bay sauce. You know, of course, I had to make a recipe inspired by them. We've been making these for years and they always transport me back there. So let's go to the shore. The tangy slaw. So in a bowl and to that I'm going to add in a tablespoon of vinegar, about a half a teaspoon of lime juice, 1 teaspoon of honey, a dash of hot sauce, and some salt and pepper. And we're just going to give that a mix. This is very similar to my traditional coleslaw recipe. The only difference is I added honey instead of sugar, as well as a little bit of hot sauce. So then I have a half a bag of coleslaw blend that I'm just going to mix into this. And we're just going to set that aside and let that marinate and do its thing while we make the tacos. I always recommend making slaw ahead of time because once the cabbage has the salt on it, it releases a lot of water. So as you can see here, it looks really dry, but the longer it sits, it creates juice. And if you make it too wet, you end up with really soupy coleslaw. So I always like to make it ahead of time so I give it time to break down that cabbage and soften it and release some of the water. Now for that Baja taco sauce. So I have a half a cup of mayonnaise and a half a cup of sour cream, and then I'm adding some lime juice, some garlic powder, some oregano, cumin, chili powder, salt and pepper, and some Old Bay. I'm just going to give that a good mix. And of course I decided on a little hot sauce at the end because my toddler won't eat the sauce anyway and we love spicy food. So added some hot sauce as well as some sliced green onions. And then again, we're just going to set that aside in the refrigerator while we work on the fish. So now let's beer batter some fish. So I have my dry ingredients here. I have 1 cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, we're going to whisk that together and then I'm adding in 1 egg, and 1 cup of light beer. Some sort of lager is perfect. And then of course, enjoy the rest yourself if you like beer. Frying can be hot work, so a nice cold beer while you're frying fish is a must. Okay, so then I have 4 cod fillets that I cut into strips, and a half a cup of flour on a separate plate. So what we're gonna do here is dredge each piece of the fish into the flour, dip it into the beer batter, and then right into the hot oil. So I have my skillet with about 2 inches of oil heated to 350 degrees. And because this is a batter, you can't really bread them ahead of time, so you just want to have everything ready, mise en place, everything in its place, and we're just going to pop those right into that hot oil and cook them for about 2 minutes per side or until they're nice and golden brown and puffy. Don't they look so good? This is like the best kind of fish. Just that perfectly golden brown and crunchy, but oddly not heavy. There's just something so light about this coating. So then once those are done frying, we're just going to assemble the tacos with our coleslaw on the bottom, a piece or two of fish in the tacos. And what I like to do, if you're using soft taco shells especially, is cut limes into quarters and use those as little stands for your tacos, because obviously you can use the lime juice, squeeze it on top, but it helps hold up those taco shells while you're trying to assemble everything, and it makes for a really pretty presentation. And then you can serve some fresh cilantro on top. So perfect. Again, I am transported back to the shore. I can't even wait. Of course, it's fun to go out to eat and not have to cook, but I love being able to recreate recipes from places we've been and places we've eaten at, because it's just those memories. It's kind of like smell, perfume for some people brings back a memory. That's food for me. Anytime I take a bite of something, I'll be like, oh, this reminds me of Rome, or this reminds me of the shore. But anyway, I highly recommend these for summertime. They're just so light and fresh, even though they're fried. I know it's surprising, but they're so delicious. If you give them a try, please be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.